What's up, everybody? Crocodile King here. Welcome to my reaction to the first 5 episodes of RWBY Fairy Tales. I am so sorry that it's taken me this long to get to it, but unfortunately, due to some personal things that have been going on lately, I haven't been able to get around to reacting to the series yet. But we're finally here, we're ready to get started, but before we get to that, I just want to point something out. For those of you who don't follow me on Twitter, which is linked down in the description, I posted a tweet telling you that I unfortunately will not be making a reaction to the death battle between Korra and Storm. Now, I know that's going to be a little disappointing for many of you who are fans of my channel and know that I was super hyped when Korra was announced to be in the next death battle, but unfortunately I was spoiled of the result, which unfortunately, if you haven't seen it yet, then I'm going to spoil you. So 3, 2, 1, Storm ended up winning. So I was going to end up being wrong anyway because I was voting for Korra to win. But at least you won't be able to... You were not going to hear me rant for 10 minutes about how Storm committed the greatest crime of all time by doing the entire Avatar universe. But regardless, I am excited for the next death battle between Madara and Aizen. It's been highly anticipated, and I'm pretty excited. If I had to vote for somebody to win, like just on paper, I would go for Madara. But again, I'll just wait for the analysis for that one as usual. But back to Fairy Tales. The RWBY Fairy Tale series is heavily based on the RWBY Fairy Tales of Remnant book that was released late last year. And many of the fairy tales have been inspired by other classic fairy tales written by other authors. So far, we have 5 official episodes, one being the with an episode 0 being the trailer, which I won't get into here. I'm just going to be reacting to the official episodes. We have the Grim Child, the Hunter's Children, the Shallow Sea, the Indecisive King, and the Girl in the Tower. The 4th and 5th, the Indecisive King and Girl in the Tower, those are the ones I'm looking forward to the most. I know that the Grim Child's going to be pretty grim. Oh my god, I can't believe I just said that. What the hell is wrong with me? The Grim Child is going to be pretty dark, so that's going to be pretty interesting. But either way, I'm really looking forward to having some more RWBY content on my channel, because unfortunately, I only started doing reactions starting in the most recent volume, which at the time of recording this is volume 8. But thankfully, while we are currently waiting for volume 9, which is still in production and probably going to be released probably in spring, I'm guessing, of 2022, Rooster Teeth was cool enough to give us some side content through these fairy tale videos. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how they play out. So let's get started right away with the first one, The Grim Child. Okay, so we got episode 1 up. We're ready to start with RWBY Fairy Tales. Episode 1, The Grim Child. Now, I know this one's going to be pretty dark, so we're off to a very interesting start, but let's just see how this plays out. I'm really looking forward to seeing how they connect with the different events that we have seen transpire in the show so far, but I'm just way too excited, so let's get this started right away. RWBY Fairy Tales, Episode 1, The Grim Child. 3, 2, 1, now. Boom, 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 boom. Alright. I'm liking this animation style too, because it looks a lot like the World of Remnant.
Explore innocence as a blessing and a curse. A blessing to not understand evil, and a curse to not recognize it. However...
Sorry, I'm just pausing really quick because unfortunately there are no subtitles in this video I just found out, so I'm just going to try to be a little quiet while the dialogue is going on. I might make some pauses here and there, but anyways, let's keep going.
Stories explore innocence.
There we go.
Many stories explore innocence as a blessing and a curse.
True.
A blessing to not understand evil, and a curse to not recognize it. However, all good stories do share one thing in common. They are not what you expect.
True. Very true. And this does make me think of the World of Remnant episodes.
Where'd you go? Come back! Poppy!
What a coward.
Say that now. Oh boy. Was that a Geist? Oh. Is that
See,
Poppy?
Oak? Told you so. Your turn.
But it's dangerous. Mother and father say so.
Huh. Come on, are you scared of trees? I double dare you. If
Don't do it, man.
Do it, I won't be your friend anymore.
You have to. You're my sister.
Not the same thing.
Come on. Bitch. See? Look what you did.
Oak! You there?
Oh, that looks a lot like the marks on Salem.
You're cold. Let's go home.
Oh, no.
Poppy? What is it? Is Oak okay?
Just caught a chill in the forest. It's nothing.
The forest? But we're not supposed to go in there.
Sorry. Love you.
Your turn. This is what you did. I'm sorry, but I have no sympathy for you. Oh, man.
Mother? Father? Have you seen...
Oh, they don't even have the marks. Are those like their corpses or their skeletons? I can't tell. Oh, he's going to all the homes. Yeah, it looks like they're all corpses.
I'm sorry. I love you.
Oh my god. Every one of them. My god, man. Sorry, but you did this, bitch. So what exactly was that force that gave him the wrinkles? Because they gave him the marks on his arms. Because that would explain how Salem got them. Because when she first came out of the Grim pools,
Gotta go.
when she first came out of the Grim pools, she didn't have the marks on her face or
Why
hands.
not me?
Oh my god, now she has them!
We all have a certain natural inclination. We expect that evil should be easy to recognize rather than accepting it can lurk behind any face. And yet, we are often the slowest to see the darkness within ourselves.
Oh boy.
Hey, we hope you enjoyed that episode of RWBY
Holy
Fairy Tales.
hell,
To
Eddie,
experience
what
more
happened?
Folklore from the world of
What
Remnant.
was that?
You can actually pick up the book that this
Okay.
series was adapted from right now.
Wait,
wherever
Kanan
books
Jensen
are
was in
sold
this?
From the world of Remnant. You
Okay. Ooh, Poppy. Poppy was voiced by Kanan Jensen. That was a good performance. I'll give her that. I will give Kanan that. That was a good performance, but holy crap. I'm just glad that they got Osmond to be the narrator again, just like he was for the fairy tale for the Four Maidens episode.
can actually pick up the book that this series was adapted from right now, wherever books are sold.
Already got it.
Or just watch more episodes in the series as they drop here on Rooster Teeth. Either way supports the show and RWBY.
Oh, Fairwolf Media did the music for this one too, just like they do a lot of the death battle music. But holy crap, that was pretty unnerving. But like it was so weird to see all those corpses just blackened. Like I don't know if that was legit what happened to their corpses after they died, or if that's what their or that was just an effect from what happened with like the Grim Child that Oak turned into. But I just want to take another look. I just want to take another look at the moment that Poppy ends up getting the marks, because I want to see if there's anything that any clues in there about how Salem got them. Wait. No, she just suddenly got them after looking into the Grimchild's eyes.
We all have a certain.
Oh my
natural
god, I just...
inclination.
Pausing. This. I wonder. I'll throw up an image. I'll put an image right here. In Volume 8, when Salem tries to interrogate Oscar, she puts up like a smoke-like apparition of her and Ozma's children, who were killed when she and Ozma first fought in the flashback episode. I wonder if she created Grimm children just like them, and it was through that Salem ended up getting the marks on her face and hands, just like how Poppy did here. If that turns out to be right, that is hella dark. How she tried to get her kids back, but only to find that they're just empty corpses with horrific marks that could poison anyone they look at. And Salem wouldn't be too much affected by it because she's immortal. Much like how she survived diving into the Grimm pools, even though it should have killed her instantly if it weren't for her immortality. Oh my god. Sorry, I know I'm going to be sniffing and snorting a lot. My allergies are acting up like crazy. But, holy crap. If that turns out to be true, then wow. I know I've come up with this like right on the fly. It's probably going to be pretty far off. But it's still pretty fun to speculate about these kinds of things. So that was episode 1. That was a pretty good premiere episode. I'm not going to lie. But now we move on to the next one, The Hunter's Children. Now, I'm seeing the thumbnail. It looks like what looks like a huntsman, but probably in a time before the Huntsman Academies were established. And it doesn't look like this one has silver eyes, but still, I'm really interested to see how some of these fairy tales play out. And actually, just one moment. Okay, so I'm now looking through the RWBY fairy tale book that I have. And The Hunter's Children is on here. So we have The Grimchild, yep. The Hunter's Children, The Shallow Sea, The Indecisive King, and The Girl in the Tower. So the ones that still haven't been adapted in this series yet, at the time of recording this, are The Warrior in the Woods, The Man Who Stared at the Sun, The Judgment of Faunus, The Infinite Man, The Two Brothers, The Story of the Seasons, and The Gift of the Moon. Now, I'm pretty sure that The Two Brothers and The Story of the Seasons will not be covered in this series because they technically already did The Two Brothers with the flashback episode detail and kind of the exposition episode in Volume 4 where Crow told Team Ranger about the legend about the two gods. And then, of course, we saw that all was true with the flashback episode about Ozma and Salem. And, of course, The Story of the Seasons was already covered in Volume 3 when they did the World of Remnant episode about the four maidens. But... sorry, I just gotta look at it again because I need to count how many. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's probably 5 more fairy tales in this book that they're most likely going to adapt into episodes for this series, which I'm really looking forward to seeing. And I'm not sure if I should do each episode one at a time, or you guys would actually prefer to have me do all 5 of those episodes when they come out. But however you want me to do them, leave a comment down below. Let me know how you want me to go about posting my reaction to those episodes. But anyways, without further ado, we need to keep going, or else this is going to take forever. So let's move straight on to episode 2, The Hunter's Children. So let's get this started. Let's full screen it. We are ready to go. Season 1, episode 2 of RWBY Fairy Tales, The Hunter's Children. 3, 2, 1, go. Boom, 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 boom. Sorry, I'm never gonna not do that intro. I'm
Long
sorry.
ago, there lived a hunter in the swamps of Mistral. This was no ordinary hunter, though. He was a hunter of Grimm.
It's basically a huntsman before the Huntsman Academies were made. I'm just gonna turn this down a little bit. There we go. Oh, it doesn't look like he has silver eyes.
Why are you the only one who hunts them?
My semblance tells me when Grimm are near.
Is that silver?
I have a duty to protect them. One day, all of you will use your semblances to help others too.
Semblances.
Well, that'd be easy, because mine's the best. It leads me to whatever I need most. Sounds pretty useful to me.
Useful?
That's only useful for yourself.
I can link ours with other people. It's easily the strongest.
Hunting Grimm isn't just about strength. I can use my semblance to calm people down. You don't need to be strong if you don't attract Grimm in the first place.
That's an interesting one.
I don't have to worry about that. I can hide from Grimm in plain sight.
Invisibility.
Well, you can keep hiding with your eyes closed while the rest of us do the work.
You know, there is danger in relying too much on one's own abilities, especially when danger surrounds us on all sides. I would have hoped your mother taught you that.
Oh, so that's his daughter, not his wife. Wow. Wow.
Has anyone seen Father today?
He said he was going deeper into the swamps. Find out why the Grimm have been showing up more.
I have some bad news, kids.
Oh, he was killed. He was killed by Grimm?
What are we going to do?
We must stay and protect our home, like Father.
They become the first huntsman team of 4.
We have to find others and protect them too.
Father was trying to learn more about the Grimm. We should learn more too, so we can be better prepared to face them.
Why does it matter? Father and Mother risked their lives for the village. Look what happened to them!
We need to fight back. Stop being foolish. You're not.
As they had countless times before, they argued long into the night.
We have to go help others. We have to think this through.
In the end,
We've got to do what Father wants us to do.
they went their separate ways.
Oh, that's not good.
The oldest daughter took up her father's mantle as protector of the village.
Okay.
But as attacks increased, the people sought refuge elsewhere.
Oh.
The oldest son searched for more villages,
They've all been destroyed by Grimm.
but the Grimm had already gotten to them. When he
Holy crap.
finally found others to protect,
Oh. They were being
Grimm's
killed.
semblance was enough to overcome the Grimm.
He can link auras together.
The youngest daughter set off to learn more about the Grimm.
She could calm herself and people
But without
down.
confronting them, there was still much she didn't know. And lastly, the youngest son set off to find adventure.
The
But having
semblance
never
is only
left
useful.
home, soon became lost.
He's only useful for hiding. Oh, but his sister calmed him down.
How's your adventure going?
Yes! And they all come together with a common goal. This is exactly what huntsmen and huntresses are supposed to do.
They found new prey.
Then we should help.
Don't worry. We'll find a new home soon.
Oh, her.
We have to stay calm.
That's when her sister semblance would come into play. But the older sister semblance links her, allows her to find what she wants the most in a certain moment, Kind of like Jack Sparrow's compass for Pirates of the Caribbean. But now we need the older brother.
There's too many.
You can link their auras together. They became the original Huntsman team. That's awesome!
I'm sorry for being stubborn. There were too many Grimm for me to fight alone. Without you all, I lost direction. No wonder my semblance led me right back to my family. My true home.
I'm sorry for leaving too. I'm stronger with all of you at my side. If we stick together, we can overcome anything.
I was wrong. Sometimes the best way to learn is to act.
I was the biggest fool of all. I was so selfish. I lost sight of what was most important.
Father died because he was fighting Grimm alone.
And so did their mother.
We're better off as a team.
Yeah, man!
For the rest of their days, the Hunter's children defended the new village they built together and welcomed anyone seeking refuge from the Grimm. And often, over the years, the siblings ventured out into the world to offer help wherever they could, inspiring others with their bravery, heart, wisdom, and humility. May we learn that working together, we can surely accomplish more than each of us can alone.
Huntsman team! Now, if only we could get their initials just to know what their team name was.
Enjoyed that episode of RWBY Fairy Tales. To experience more folklore from the world of Remnant, you can actually pick up the book that this series was adapted from.
So it's red, yellow, purple, and blue. Kind of hard to tell what kind of color their team name would be called, but that is pretty neat. How they basically became the original Huntsman team of 4 that would become so common throughout Remnant in the present day with the Huntsman Academies. That is so awesome. It's really cool that they all went their separate ways only to realize that their talents can only be best used when working as a team, and that's just the perfect message to send to any team of huntsmen or huntresses. I'm not the best at coming up with the right words to say in certain situations like this, but I'm pretty sure that by now you understand what I mean. This was a really fantastic episode. It was a great story. It was a great way to show basically the origins of the Huntsman teams that would become so common in the world of Remnant in the present day. But I just hope that after Volume 8, we can still get something akin to this. So, that's the second episode, The Hunter's Children. Very fun episode. Very good at exploring the lore of the Huntsman teams. But now we move on to The Shallow Sea. This one I'm not that familiar with. I only read through the fairy tale book once, and it was quite a while ago. So there is a little bit that there's quite a bit about the story that I kind of forgot about. So I'm kind of doing this semi-blind. So this is going to be very interesting to watch. So let's get this one up and going. Full screen, wait for everything to clear, and we are ready. RWBY Fairy Tales, Season 1, Episode 3, The Shallow Sea. We're about 21 minutes into the recording, so let's get this going. 3, 2, 1, go. Boom, boom. I wonder if this takes place near Vale.
Faunus parents entertain their children with bedtime stories about where they came from.
Menagerie?
We are special, they say. We were chosen. But chosen by whom? The god of animals traveled all over Remnant, seeking those who were a little more than human, and invited them to sail to the shallow sea to discover their destiny.
You did not fit in where you came from, but I know who you are. Leave this boat. Enter the water. It will wash your old life away and show what you've always been just below the surface. You belong here. You are home.
Some of the people leapt at the chance the god offered.
Faunus.
Others were more skeptical.
Though the sea did not touch you, it has revealed your own shallowness.
Oh.
Fables often teach lessons, such as the importance of looking beneath the skin. But for Faunus, the story of the shallow sea does something more vital. It reminds them from a young age that their own lives have value.
Interesting.
But Faunus are forced to grow up quickly. As they mature, they learn darker stories, in which the truth lies closer to the surface.
Yeah, they were often hunted.
Many years ago, in a faraway land, there was a war between humans and animals.
Whoa. Faunus act as the middle ground? Oh, the god.
Why do you fight each other?
Are you human?
I am neither and both. Why are you fighting?
They are not like us.
Why must everyone be the same?
We worry about what they might do to us.
So you have something in common, after all. Judge not what you fear others may do, but by their actions.
We've seen the evil in their hearts. Humans are even more capable of destroying things than they are at creating.
Animals are stronger than us, but they will not join us in fighting the Grimm.
You tried to control us. Why should we risk our lives to protect yours? The Grimm have never bothered us. All we want is to be free.
You are too wild. You must be tamed so you won't steal from us. All we want is to live in safety and in peace.
You assume the worst about one another, but you are more alike than you know. If only you could see your best qualities as I do, and embrace your differences.
Faunus.
I can end this conflict here, but only if all submit to my judgment, whatever it may be.
You turn them all into
judgment.
Turn them all into Faunus? Turn them all to Faunus.
I thought the god would choose the superior species.
Perhaps they have.
Were you human?
There isn't one.
It doesn't matter anymore. I can see so far.
Look,
I'm so strong.
I'm walking like a monkey.
Seems we are neither human nor animals now.
Then what are we?
Better than both.
And it seems we now have a common enemy.
Wow. So is this basically meant to be...
Don't you know us?
We don't even know what you are.
Were we so narrow-minded when we were human?
Yes.
And so the Faunus left in search of a place they could live peacefully together.
Menagerie.
They could become the best versions of themselves. These fables may seem fantastic, yet they reflect the real and unfortunate history of conflicts between humans and Faunus. And though different versions of the same story, they have some things in common. Faunus leaving behind their old lives to create a new future for themselves, as well as the notion that humans and Faunus need each other to survive. If we all set aside our differences and work toward a shared purpose, how much better would Remnant be for everyone?
I'd like to tell the White Fang that. Holy crap. That was interesting.
Hey, we hope you enjoyed that episode of RWBY Fairy Tales. To experience more folklore from the world of Remnant, you can actually pick up the book that this series was adapted from right now, wherever books are sold. World of Remnant.
The God of Animals, Cody Hawkins. Kenny Jensen was involved. Oh.
You can actually actually pick up.
Okay. Not many voices here that I recognize other than Caden and Shannon. But that was really interesting because the god of animals, I'm not quite sure if that was meant to be the god of light or somebody else. Because the god of light always preached for peace over war. But it's kind of confusing because I'm not sure if that god of animals was a product of the two brothers, or if he actually was the god of light himself, because I doubt the god of darkness would ever promote something even akin to peace, because he's all about destruction and war. But that was really interesting to kind of show the origins of the faunus after the rebirth of humanity, once the first generation of humanity was wiped out because of Salem. But I'm the only thing is I'm just a little confused of whether that was meant to be the god of light or somebody else. But regardless, that was pretty cool, and it was a pretty good interpretation of how faunus are always going to be different from humans. Like, they're always going to be treated like they're different, even though they shouldn't be. But anyways, moving on to the two episodes that I personally am the most that I was the most interested in seeing. First off is the Indecisive King. This is basically meant to be a story about one of Ozpin's previous lives as the King of Vale, and you can see that the crown he is wearing is most certainly the relic of choice, because it was revealed in the flashback episode, which I'll put over here, that the relic of choice was revealed to resemble a crown. So it's highly likely that the relic of choice is going to highly influence the king, making him indecisive. I think in the original tale, he was a benevolent person who offered advice to people who were asking for it, but they had to follow him no matter what he said. I think that's kind of how it went, but again, it's been a while since I've read it, but I'm really excited to watch this episode, so let's not waste any time and get right into it. Okay. Episode full screen, ready to start again. Episode 4 of RWBY Fairy Tales, The Indecisive King. 3, 2, 1, go. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, sorry.
Is knowledge the answer to all your problems? Surely being more informed leads to smarter choices. But even the wisest among us have limits.
They do.
What happens to the mortal mind when it has more knowledge than it is capable of bearing?
That relic, man.
Your Grace, his tree fell on my fence and broke it.
There was a great storm! It's not my fault the tree fell! The wind blew it over!
Here is what you shall do. Chop and mill the tree, and use it to build a new fence. Any wood that remains, sell at market, and divide the profit between you.
Thank you very much, Your Grace.
You are truly as wise as they say.
And so the king commands.
It's basically whatever.
Please. I must see the king.
Like, he would allow anyone to visit him seeking advice, but whatever advice he gave him, it was his decree that they would follow it.
I need your help.
Tell me, what has befallen you?
Creatures of Grimm destroyed my entire village. Now my family is dead, and I have nothing left.
She a faunus?
I don't know how to go on.
You must keep living. And as you have nowhere else to go, please show her to one of our many empty rooms. She may stay here as long as she likes.
Oh, some big horns.
What troubles you, citizen?
Your Grace, your wisdom and judgment is famous in my kingdom. And so I bring before you a marvel of the
relic.
world. This crown is no ordinary crown, you see. But to truly understand how special it is, You must put it on.
The relic of choice. Whoa. Why did you do that?
It can't be. Where's that man? Find him.
Whoa.
How can I aid you?
Your Grace,
Ow.
I have fallen in love, but he is very poor, and my father disapproves. Should I marry for love, or obey my father?
True love is a rare and wonderful gift. If you wish to be happy in this life, follow your heart.
And so, the king commands.
The relic. Don't do it, man. Wait. It can control him from outside! He doesn't have to wear it!
Love, you cannot sleep in love's shade. Do not marry him. Wait for a richer man.
Oh my god. The relic can control him.
So, it is commanded?
Oh my god.
I will see no one else.
Ooh. So just by putting it on, he doesn't have to keep it on for it to control him. So, was he wearing the crown the entire time that he was king? During the war? The king is no longer holding court?
Why has the king closed his gates to his subjects? And who are they?
The king has come across an impossible problem, so he has summoned the wisest in the land to solve it.
Whoa. Oh, the flames. They're white.
Who are you? Ugh. You cannot possibly help me.
You don't remember. Your Grace, you saved my life. And now it is my turn to help you. Please, what torments you so?
No, I cannot. It is far too great and terrible.
Share your burden with me. Let me wear the crown so I may understand.
Oh. I don't like where this is going. He was gonna propose to her.
I think I understand now. This crown, it gives a glimpse into the future, to a decision that must someday be made.
We have clearly seen vastly different visions. What this cursed crown has shown me is a distant crossroads. One with no solution, no way out that doesn't end in disaster.
But it is in
The war with Salem.
Is it not?
Of course. But I now have the gift of time to find the right answer and avert the consequences.
That is no gift at all. If you only concern yourself with the future, you will miss the good things right in front of your eyes. Life is full of decisions, but you must trust yourself to do the right thing when the time comes. You must keep living.
That's what he said to her.
This advice is very wise.
I heard it from a very wise man.
And so, the wise king found an even wiser queen.
The relic of choice lets you see the future!
Merch for the holidays.
It's basically the Monado!
Blue Ruby and Red vs. Blue merch on the
Okay, I need to know. Okay, Caden Jensen. Wow, Caden Jensen's in a lot of, in like all of these. Yeah, again, the only voices I really recognize are Caden and Shannon. Holy crap. The Relic of Choice lets you see the future. It's the Monado from Xenoblade. Because I'm starting to think, because what if it's just like the Monado, where the future you see isn't set in stone? It's almost like telling you what will happen if you make the wrong choice. Or if you don't do anything. Because I'm willing to bet what that king saw was the war against Salem. Because this was after, because since it's the Relic of Choice, it wasn't left on Remnant until after Salem was made immortal and after she was turned into a monster. So I really hope that they got inspiration of that crown's powers from the Monado, because Xenoblade Chronicles is my, hands down, my favorite game of all time. And any nod to that game, that masterpiece of a game, would be amazing to see in RWBY. Because I also keep saying in online chats that if I could take one fictional weapon into a Grim fight, it would be the Monado. But anyways, that was very good. I was really excited to see this, and it did not disappoint at all. That was really fun to watch. I liked the ending. I liked the message that it showed. Like, even if you can see what will happen, it's never really, you're never really quite sure how you will get to that point. And like I said before, I'm absolutely terrible at thinking of the right words to say in situations like these, but still, I really love the message that it sends, where, like, even if you know something is going to happen, you still need to live your life as you want, while still trying to ensure that the future can, that future generations can still thrive. So I really hope that we see this touched upon in a later season of RWBY, because that would be so cool. But okay, it's finally time to see the most recent episode at the time of this recording, The Girl in the Tower, and it's obviously all about Salem. We of course saw like glimpses of her situation of when she was imprisoned in a tower by her father in the flashback episode when she was eventually rescued by Ozma, but we need to see some more details about how and why she was locked away. So let's get down to it. The Girl in the Tower. And I'm going to be completely honest, before we get started, I've always noticed that the emblem in Salem's room, on the back of her chair, this is totally not something that I came up with myself. I'm just bringing something up that somebody else pointed out. When Arnold, or Murder of Birds, came up with a theory that Jean, who's probably my favorite character in RWBY, could be a distant descendant of either Salem or one of Osmond's previous lives. I'm willing to guess Salem, because, or at least somebody in Salem's bloodline, because that emblem so closely resembles Jean's symbol on his shield, like the symbol of the Ark family, who are a long line of huntsmen. So if that turns out to be true, and Jean has a much greater purpose than what he already has in the show, that would be unbelievable to me, because, again, Jean's my favorite character. He's the one that I connect with the most. But let's see if we see any more hints to that in this as we watch Episode 5 of RWBY Fairy Tales, The Girl in the Tower. Let's go! 3, 2, 1, go! Bum, 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 bum. Okay.
A long, long time ago, a beautiful girl was locked in a tower by her cruel father.
Now, I pointed out, I thought to myself, that looks a lot like Beacon.
He was not always that way. But when her mother died in childbirth, it devastated him.
Oh. And it looked like he was a king.
He vowed he would never lose his daughter.
That's just like Rapunzel too.
Father, why won't you let me leave this tower?
My darling, you are my most precious possession. I am protecting you
everything outside that could harm you.
But I'll be careful. I promise.
This was your mother's favorite tower. She loved gazing out this very window. Why would you want to live it?
I just wish I knew what life was like outside this room.
She's just like Rapunzel.
Since you cannot go out into the world, perhaps these will bring the world to you.
So she read fairy tales too.
The world in these books. What a marvelous place.
And even though it's Jen
Tomorrow
Taylor.
I'll be 16 and I have never even stepped outside. Huh.
What did she do?
Thank you, dearest father, for these wonderful gifts.
Anything for my daughter on her 16th birthday?
There is one thing I still desire.
What is that, my darling?
Freedom?
Pen and paper, that is all. I have read every book in this castle, and now there are none left. I would like to write my own stories.
It shall be yours. I hope you will read these stories to me.
Of course, father. Once there lived a beautiful maiden locked in a high tower by her cruel lord father. She longed to experience the world outside, but she was his prisoner. If only some brave, strong warrior would defeat the evil lord and free her at last, they would marry, inherit all of the father's riches, and live happily ever after.
Just as she planned. The story of the girl's tragic circumstances.
She wrote that story to attract people to the tower to get her out.
And then the Lord's worst nightmare came true. One warrior after another arrived to challenge his might. Steal the girl away from him.
Oh.
Many tried. And just as many fell to the Lord's powerful evil magic. Until one day, a
Ozma.
brave new challenger came.
Ozma. Oh my god.
Armed with his own powerful magic, at last defeated the cruel lord.
He killed him.
You have rescued me from this castle, the girl said. So now it is yours. I only came to right a terrible wrong, the hero said. You rescued yourself. Where shall
You
we
only
go
fought
now?
for wherever you'd like.
Wherever you like. You are the one who has yet to see the world. And here we are at the end. This fairy tale is unique on Remnant, in that the protagonist writes her own story and her own ending.
Salem
Hold great power over their audiences. The girl in the tower used her power and led many warriors to their deaths. We must read with some skepticism and decide the truth for ourselves. Because in real life, there is no happily ever after.
He knows that all too well. Holy shit, dude.
Red vs. Blue merch on the Rooster Teeth store. And everything on the site is 30% off through November 29th. So click the box below me to start shopping now.
Alright, I need to once again look at the
Holidays,
credits
well,
roll.
we just released new RWBY and Red vs.
Yep. Kendrick. Again, I don't recognize their voices other than Jen Taylor and Shannon McCormick. But I'm going to be honest. The way that Jen Taylor performed her, gave that performance as Salem for this episode, it honestly sounded like Mandy Moore's performance as Rapunzel from Tangled. So I wonder if she did that on purpose, because the way she was locked in a tower was very similar to Rapunzel's story. But oh man. And ever since the flashback, I've been wondering, how did people know that Salem was locked in that tower? It was almost like the king was looking for somebody worthy of his daughter's hand, but no, she attracted people to that castle. So you could say that even before Ozma died and she was denied by the gods, she always had this semblance of like selfishness, but it wasn't something that she just developed it because she had it. It was basically forced on her by her father when he kept her locked in that tower for so long, all because of his own fear of losing his daughter the same way that he lost his wife. Like, it just adds a lot more tragedy to Salem's backstory. And even though we still don't excuse any of her actions, it means that we have a better understanding of how she got to the point where she was basically became as much of a monster on the outside as she was on the inside. So it only makes me more curious of how they're going to end up beating her at the end of the series, because obviously with Volume 8, after the end of Volume 8, things are more bleak than ever. So I'm really, really interested to see where they're going to take this. I hope they make more fairy tale episodes like this, because these were a lot of fun to watch. And again, if you want me to kind of marathon the rest of the episodes, or just do them one at a time, let me know in the comments below. Tell me what you think of that. And I've now been recording for 50 minutes straight. So I think I'm just going to end this off here. Thank you so much for watching. This was a lot of fun, and I'm so glad to finally have some more RWBY content on my channel. And be sure to follow me on Twitter for any more updates on my channel, because like I said, I posted a tweet about how I unfortunately will not be making a reaction to the death battle between Korra and Storm because I was spoiled at the ending. But I will definitely do my best to avoid any and all spoilers so I can do a good reaction to Madara versus Aizen. But if you want to keep up with any of updates on my channel, I will be posting everything to Twitter. My Twitter, as well as my other social medias, will be linked in the description, as well as the official release of every episode that I've reacted to today. And please, I know that I should have said this at the beginning, but please support the official release before you watch this video. Actually, I think I'm just going to do a separate recording of myself telling you to support the official release before we get started. So in fact, I'm probably just going to insert this here. I don't know. So sometimes I just like to make up things on the fly as I go. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. This was a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to a lot more RWBY Fairy Tale episodes coming in the future. I'm the Crocodile King. Have a great one, everyone. Thanks for watching.